Hi, everyone. I hope that you had a great break. I'm going to share my screen just so I can show you a little bit, and we can talk a little bit about prohibition. So that's where we're going to start. All right. Here we go. Hope you all can see this. So we are going to talk a little bit about what prohibition was as we move into the 1920s. Mason, you want to say hi?
Hi.
All right, so a couple of things we want to talk about is, first of all, the 18th Amendment to the Constitution. Why did this happen? What the consequences of this were, and then at the end of this video, we're going to spend some time doing a little bit about what historians do, which is work with primary sources. Yeah. I'm going to post these videos. I'm not going to show them on this, so you guys can watch them if you would like to. You need to put your belly away. All right, so let's start with this. We see this cartoon. We talked about this before the break. The word Hun always refers to German. So I want you to think, what is alcohol? What is this cartoon arguing that alcohol causes? And of course, if alcohol is eliminated, what might happen to society? Or really, if this is by people who are in favor of prohibition, what is the argument they are making about why prohibition, why getting rid of alcohol is necessary? Right? Especially given that, we're talking about the World War I time period. I want you to think about that. I'll post these slides. You guys can sort of keep going with it. There's a number of different groups that were in favor of prohibition that were backing this idea, one of which was the Women's Christian Temperance Union. And when you see the word temperance or hear the word temperance, that refers to getting rid of alcohol. This is quite a famous picture where it says, "Lips that touch liquor shall not touch ours," and women posting it, saying, we will not date or marry any man who is someone who does drink. This is a few things about prohibition. This is when prohibition goes into effect. Here's sort of what different states do. There are some states that were entirely dry, meaning there was no alcohol at all. There were some states that had already, kind of limited alcohol. And then there were some states where alcohol was not limited. Good thought. Our alcohol was not limited at all. And before prohibition, you could freely buy alcohol. A few groups that were sort of big time supporters of prohibition: women. Christians, the South and the Midwest, the areas that we would today think of as the more conservative parts of our country, rural areas, and factory owners. And I want us to think about why it might be that factory owners would be in favor of this. And I think if you take a second and ponder the idea, it would be because, if men are drinking too much in a way that they are not able to be successful employees, that, that's not good for their business. I don't think the light's plugged in. Oh, maybe it is plugged in. You're right. This is the specific text of the 18th Amendment. You see how it talks about the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors. But it doesn't, to be very clear, turn this on. To be very clear, what this does not ban is drinking. If you already have the alcohol in your possession, if there's already something that you have, there was no component of this law or this amendment to the Constitution that officially banned it. And we will talk sort of when I get back tomorrow a little bit about why the law might have been written this way. Obviously, we know that this is eliminated, but not too long afterwards. But why this is written this way and how people exploited the loophole. We'll talk about speakeasies. I'll show you a video about speakeasies tomorrow. You'll see, this is an illegal bar. This is a tour, it's a modern video, a tour of what a speakeasy would have looked like. A car that had alcohol disguised inside its running boards. I know, it's funny, right? That's not a good idea. You shouldn't put alcohol.
Daddy,
yeah.
Are you talking about alcohol speak?
Yes, I am. And then I have a video about what bootleggers were, people who sold illegal alcohol. All right. As you see, when Prohibition goes into effect in 1919, alcohol consumption drops way off. But by the time, the end of the decade, it was pretty much back to where it was, which means this was in no way an effective law. Right? It also leads to the rise of the mafia. Anybody who's seen Godfather or Godfather 2 knows how these things go together. Crime goes way up. You see that murder is way up during this decade, partially because of this is the major period of the mob and the mafia. Initially, alcohol consumption does decrease. There is less alcohol-related crime. It does have its, positive effects at the very beginning, but as time goes on, the jobs are lost. There's tax revenue. The government, which taxes alcohol, does not bring in money because alcohol is not being sold. So that basically loses $11 billion in revenue.
That's a lot of dollars.
That is a lot of dollars, yes. There's a rise of speakeasies and bootleggers, rise of organized crime, disregard for the law and law enforcement. Even the president did not enforce the law, partially because members of his staff were bribed by a bootlegger, a mobster. That's very sweet. George Remus. All right, what I want you guys to do now, hold on real quick, sweet boy, is I want you to open the February 20th Prohibition assignment on Canvas. Turn to one partner who is in your number group. I want you to open and make a copy of the analysis document. You may share this with your partner. I want you to work. You have the copy of the sources. You have the copy of the analysis. Everybody needs to turn in this assignment. Mason needs to turn in this assignment as well. Yes. I will be back about noon today if you want to have questions during lunch or right after school. And if you have nothing else, you certainly can reach me on my email or on Canvas. Otherwise, I will see everybody tomorrow. So have a fantastic period, and let me know if you have any questions. All right.